first thing about Charlie Kirk's speech. Charlie Kirk gave it. There is no equivalent in the left wing. The Democrats, and this is to the credit of the Republicans and discredit of the Democrats. The Democrats would never allow a young progressive to give the opening speech of their convention. They wouldn't let a young progressive within a 3-state perimeter of their convention. Charlie Kirk, who's a nobody, just a tiny minor character in this soap opera, is given us a starring role here. Why? Because Republicans are trying to reach out to young people. Then they have almost no prayer of that. Most of the young are progressive, but at least they're trying. Whereas the Democrats, their idea of trying is they go, why don't you guys vote for us? It's all your fault we lose elections. Listen to you. Of course, we're not going to listen to you. So that's the one and only upside of the Charlie Kirk speech. Now, the rest of it was bathed in culture wars and honestly reeked of racism throughout. And so he said, we are going to protect good middle-class patriots in the suburbs from a vengeful mob seeking to destroy our way of life. That's not that coded. That's really pretty plain. I have so much more, but Jayar, jump in on that.
Okay, so I thought I was the only one that's gonna need to take notes here because first I didn't have the plan. I was like, as they speak, I remember what they said, but it comes in such a rapid succession that you're like, okay, wait a second, let me see. That last thing he said, oh man, he just hit me with another one. So the first thing is it's a lot of projection, talking about you want to get the focus off of the anger, the vitriol, the attacks, and the straight just bitterness that's happening from the Republican Party and what this entire convention looking like. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but what it's looking like it's going to be. So he mentioned bitter Democrats that are keeping conservatives from speaking their minds on social media because that's the basis for anything you can do in America. And if you're not tweeting about it, and if you're not writing on Facebook, it's just your voice is just completely muted. Now, those things that you say on those platforms, no matter how hateful, divisive, racist, sexist, anything that you want to say, or maybe even inciting violence, which that also happens, all that's freedom of speech. All that's just fine in freedom of speech. And there should be no parameters or bases from the way that these social media companies pursue their users, or you should police their users to not destroy the platform. Let's keep it real. And if you don't like those platforms, create your own. I keep hearing about these conservatives that have an overwhelming number in America that everyone loves and that the American people want to be like. Go and start your social media company, have your chats, and then everyone will be there, right? Why do you need these other social media companies that are so beholden to the Democratic Party, number one? And number two, are overlording over you like slave owners, which of course you also celebrate, which leads to my second point. There's monuments, we need to be building monuments of our heroes, not burn down statues. Monuments of your heroes. Your heroes are slave owners, your heroes are traitors to the nation, your heroes are people that fought the United States of America in order to continue to own human beings while you claim Abraham Lincoln. None of it makes any sense. So we can go through the list of all the people of these statues that have been torn down, but you're gonna have to now latch your name and everything that you believe in on the beliefs and lives of those heroes of yours. If someone says their hero is Martin Luther King, they may say so, not really knowing everything about his life, but at least some of the anecdotal things that they've heard through a few speeches. Okay, it's okay. You don't have to know everything about someone to have a statement. But the small little tidbits, about the lives of Confederate generals and well-known slave owners. You either have to ignore those things that were very integral to their lives, or you have to accept those things and say you like those, and therefore they make heroes, you're making heroes out of them.
Yeah.
It never goes by the first step with conservatives when they talk about these things. They'll just throw out names, say that they're heroes, and there's no question of why is that person your hero? What is it he did that has you aspire to be like them? Because that's what a hero is. A hero is someone that you admire so much that you're like, I aspire to be someone like them in some form or fashion. What is it about traitors to the country and slave owners that make you aspire to be like them? Yeah, never asked.
And Jayar, he says these social media people, they kicked off those poor doctors. Well, they don't clarify, like they didn't clarify the heroes they're talking about are slave owners and Confederate generals. They didn't clarify that the doctor that was kicked off thought that the aliens used demon sperm to impregnate us. So I'm okay with the social media guys saying maybe the demon sperm folks aren't exactly accurate. And he talked about how Donald Trump is the bodyguard of Western civilization. Are you kidding me? He's a guy looking to destroy Western civilization. He doesn't even believe in democracy. He says, if I lose, I might not leave. It depends on the aftermath that he would create. The main reason I'm voting against Donald Trump, and there's 1,000 reasons and they're all incredibly compelling, but the main one is because I'm afraid he's going to tear down Western civilization, that we won't have elections anymore. And so he says, oh, he put his life of luxury on the line for us. Oh, please. The guy was about to go bankrupt for the 7th time. And they're so over the top. He said the Democrats would eliminate everything we love. How's that for a statement? Jesus Christ, man. So the Democrats don't hit the Republicans all week long. Republicans come out and immediately light the Democrats on fire. And so that's the difference between two parties. And he says, oh, and you get kicked off of social media by basically self-righteous censors. Donald Trump is in court right now suing so that he can block people on social media. There is no end to their hypocrisy. And so where's freedom of speech? Where's the censorship? You guys are the ones doing the censorship. You Department of Justice put together this gigantic thing to say that we should be able to censor people.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, Jayar. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.